Hey everybody, it's me Arlene, Delicious Delights. So recently I made a video on my top favorite 15 perfume releases of the year. In this video, and it's been requested by the way many times, in this video I'll be talking about the opposite. These are my least favorite releases of the year. And so I know it's always more fun to hear about fragrances we love and adore, but I also think it's important to have some kind of balance and talk about fragrances that we don't love. It is very difficult to love everything, of course, so I don't think it's a big deal to talk about fragrances that we think are disappointing, that let us down, that we hate, that we don't enjoy, because I think those fragrances, or talking about fragrances like those, can be helpful as well. So there's 8 here, and before I begin, if you enjoy these scents, that's all good. I'm happy for you. These ones, after more testing and testing properly on skin, because a lot of times in my videos I just do first impressions, these ones just didn't work out for me personally. So we can all love and hate or dislike perfumes. We can still be friends, I think. So let's begin here. I won't get too into detail with these scents. I think I've reviewed all of these ones. So you can refer to the reviews of them on my channel if you want to get a more detailed thing. Again, some of them or many of them have been just first impressions, but I have tested these ones more properly now, and I can say that these are, to me, the most disappointing scents of 2023. And some of them might actually surprise you. So let's begin. The first one here is from the house of Armani. It's Armani My Way Parfum. And so I have it here. I actually blind bought this travel size, thinking that I would love this scent. I do enjoy the note of iris, and I do enjoy many of the flankers and the original My Way as well, even though it's kind of a collection that had to grow on me. Now I really enjoy the My Way scents just as everyday, easygoing, grab and go kind of scent. So I assumed that this parfum version would be like that, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. And I don't think this is a terrible scent at all. It's just one that I don't think I would reach for very often. This one has some notes of iris, of course, tuberose, ambrette, musk, and orange blossom. And the reason why I don't love this is because of that iris note. And I normally love iris in scents, but the iris note in here comes off very dirty, earthy, dark, and pungent. It feels like a punch in the face with this iris combined with other earthy notes. There's a sweetness in here that kind of softens the blow, I guess. But it's that note in here, or something in here, that is just so intense to the point where I feel a little exhausted when I wear it. It kind of just wears me out. And so maybe I'll have to be in a certain mood to wear this, but there's just something in it that doesn't really work well for me. And I don't think I'll be reaching for this at all. But I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing, especially because I really, really enjoyed many of the other My Way scents. So this is probably my most regretful purchase of the year. Luckily, it was just a little travel size of it. And I'll probably end up giving this one away at some point. So My Way Parfum from the house of Armani. Moving on, we have a scent from Lancome, La Vie est Belle Iris Absolue. I have a sample of it here. I have gone through a few samples of this one. It has some notes of patchouli, blackcurrant, fig, Orange Blossom, and of course, Iris again. This one's Iris Absolute as the name. And I do smell some of the original La Vie Belle in here, but it's that iris note. Again, I get the feeling that the iris note that they used in Iris Absolute is similar, very, very similar to the iris note in My Way Parfum. Now, these two aren't the same scent, but I do sense a connection between the two, and it's that dark, pungent earthiness, patchouli, something that doesn't agree with me. I do enjoy the extrait version in the gold bottle where they added some oud in it, but this version is just something that makes me feel uncomfortable, maybe even a little bit nauseous. I don't know. There's just something about it. So this one here, I think is just not my cup of tea. I don't know, you guys. It's just not my thing. So that's all I have to say about this one. La Vie Belle Iris Absolute. Another one that didn't work out for me very well is from Mugler, Angel Elixir. And I had high hopes for Angel Elixir. I love the original one. I love many of the flankers. But I've noticed with the newer releases from the House of Mugler, I haven't really fallen in love with any of them. I think they're okay. They're not bad or anything, but since they got sold off, I just haven't really fallen in love with any of them. So the Elixir version has some notes. Oh, I didn't even write any notes down. Okay, so the Elixir version to me actually reminds me more of Alien Goddess. It's disappointing to me because I don't smell really any resemblance to the original Angel. Not at all. And I guess with flankers, you expect most of the time to smell maybe a little hint of the original. That's why it's a flanker. But this one smells like a completely different scent. Actually, this one smells like something they could have released under the Alien Goddess collection, but they instead released it in the Angel collection. And yeah, it's kind of a strange thing for me because I have certain ideas, certain expectations when it comes to any Angel scent. But now this is reminding me of Alien Goddess, which with the Alien Goddess and many of the flankers, I think they're actually very different to the original Alien, which I love and adore. So also the bottle of Angel Elixir, it is a dark blue bottle. So also the name Elixir, I guess for me, I was assuming it would be very dark, heavy, strong, intense. But actually this one more came off to me as a summery, fresh, light scent. And so there's kind of a disconnect in my mind between the bottle, the Angel collection, and the scent. A little bit confusing, a strange, confusing release for me, which doesn't smell bad at all, but it's just a little bit disappointing because I wanted at least a little hint of the original Angel in here, a little more of it, but it wasn't there for me. So Angel Elixir was a disappointment for me, unfortunately. Next up, Valentino Born in Roma Intense. It's another flanker of Born in Roma. That one had some notes of vanilla, amber, jasmine, and benzoin. And so this one here I tried when I was at the airport. Right before flight, I sprayed some on me, and for the entire flight, I didn't feel good. It was so strong and I felt like everyone around me smelled me. Maybe it's my mistake that I decided to test that particular scent before hopping on a flight, but it made me feel very uncomfortable. I felt like the scent was choking me out. Again, maybe it's my fault because I put myself into that situation, but even picturing myself wearing this when I'm not on a flight, I just found it to be very overwhelming. My nose was kind of clogged up because of it. I felt like I got punched in the face. I use that analogy a lot apparently, but I felt like it was just too much for me to handle. It was just too much of the sweet vanilla. And normally I love vanilla scents, but this one was just so big and bold and overwhelming for me that I didn't feel good because of it. So yeah, Born in Roma, Intense. Made the list for one of the most disappointing releases to me. Now, the next one here might surprise you. I have reviewed this one, and this is the one where I actually respect the scent, and I find it to be a very interesting and unique scent. But after testing more and more, I've gone through a few samples of it now. I just found that it just didn't work for me at all. And it was kind of like I liked it a lot when I first tried it, and I tested it and I liked it. But then as I tested it more, I liked it less and less. And now to me, it's kind of a disappointment. So Amouage Guidance in the adorable blush pink bottle. This one has some notes of pear, hazelnut, olibanum, osmanthus, saffron, sandalwood, vanilla, akigala wood, and vanilla, and ambergris as well. So yeah, the opening of this one was very, very unique. I got a sweet and nutty, unique, different woodiness. Very different from anything else that I've ever tried. So I really appreciate that it's very different. And it was a nice surprise to smell something that you haven't, smell something that doesn't remind you of another scent, because I do have that a lot, where I smell something and I'm reminded automatically of something else. And so with this one here, as this one dries down, I liked it less and less, and that creamy, nutty woodiness in the opening kind of dried down into a woody, dark, dusty, musky, musty oiliness. And I just don't know what it is about this scent, but after testing it now in cooler weather, there was this oily kind of scent. It reminded me of an oil slick, a slippery oil slick on the road, along with these other notes. But it's just a very, very strange, bizarre dry down. Again, I want to emphasize that I do appreciate the scent because it's very different, but I have found after more testing that I do like the opening, but the dry down had this off-putting oiliness to it that made me think of oil, an oil rig, and other things like that. Just an oily, slippery oil scent, like gasoline almost. It's very, very weird. So it could be just my my chemistry. I found it to be very busy as well. A lot of things going on at the same time, which yeah, sometimes I do like that, but I just found that it just wasn't working, and I couldn't just take that imagery out of my mind of the oil slick, like a big oil puddle, and like slipping in it and smelling like Guidance. So unfortunately, that one didn't work out for me in the end, in the long run, after testing more. So yeah, let's move on to Sol de Janeiro After Hours. This one was a limited edition in a blue bottle. It has some notes of blackcurrant, pear, vanilla, whipped cream, caramel and patchouli. And so I had very high hopes for this scent. I don't hate the scent. I think it's okay. But comparing this scent to the other Sol de Janeiro scents, which I really, really enjoy, by the way. Most of the original collection I really, really like. They're a collection that are body mists, so they don't really last very long. But I have found with the After Hours scent that it lasts even less long. So it pretty much dissipated right away from my skin, and it smelled like a sweet, fruity, blueberry, bready kind of scent. And then as it dried down, you still smell some of that blueberry, blackcurrant, but you get some of the florals as well. So the scent is nice, but it just felt so watery that it was pretty much gone right away after I smelled it. But this one to me just felt like it was so watery, a pleasant scent, but comparing to many of the other Sol de Janeiro scents, it was kind of disappointing. I really normally love blackcurrant scents, but this one was just disappointing for me because it vanished, and so it vanished quicker than the other Sol de Janeiro scents. And I've said many times that I don't really mind so much about longevity for the most part anymore because I don't mind reapplying. But with After Hours, I think that I would have to reapply so often that, it would take me like a week to go through the entire bottle. So Sol de Janeiro After Hours made it to the list. There's 2 more to go. Elie Saab Le Parfum Bridal. I have a sample here still. So this one has some notes of orange blossom, orange blossom, ylang ylang, gardenia, vanilla, musk, and amber. And basically this one is a sweet mixed white floral scent. It comes off musky and very waxy. And I didn't love the dry down mostly with this one. The opening reminds me of a big wedding floral bouquet, but as this one dries down, it gets very waxy. It has the texture of a waxiness, and also it has some kind of sour or bitter kind of thing going on skin, and I didn't really enjoy that part of the scent. So I love the bottle. I love the concept with it being a bridal scent, but yeah, I don't think I would want to wear this on my wedding day. If I were to renew my vows one day, I would probably go for J'adore L'Or. That one definitely made a big impression on me, and it definitely gave me wedding vibes, and I think it's so beautiful. This is one I would not reach for that day or any day because of the dry down mostly. Weird, waxy, bitter sourness on my skin. So my skin didn't enjoy this one. Okay, so lastly, my number one least favorite release of the year. It is from the house of Killian. It's called Smoking Hot. I do have a little bit left here in this sample. And so I actually thought that I would love this scent. The notes listed, or some notes listed, are apple, cinnamon, smoke, tobacco, moss, bourbon, vanilla, and organox. And based on those notes, it sounded really, really nice. And I really like tobacco scents. For the most part, spicy tobacco sweet scents. But this one here didn't work for me at all. It has that tobacco note that smells very sharp. It's like a dirty, sharp tobacco note that I don't like at all. It actually reminds me a little bit of Tobacolor, not sure how to say it, from Dior. That was one of my least favorite releases of last year. And also reminds me a little bit of Herod from Parfums de Marly. I know how popular it is and how it's loved in the community, but the tobacco note in these three fragrances do not work well for me. They are overwhelming, sharp, too strong, almost offensive. Now there's other notes in here that I do like. That cinnamon adds a nice sweet spice to it. And there's vanilla and smoke. All of that is fine, but the tobacco note for me is just almost headache inducing, and I just can't. I can't. And that's why this is my least favorite release of 2023, Smoking Hot from Killian. I do love Back to Black by Killian. That one used to be very popular some years ago, but I think now it's fallen off the radar. So if I had to choose a tobacco scent from Killian, it would be Back to Black. I still have a decant of it. And also it was one of my first niche purchases when I first started in the hobby. So I like that one, but Smoking Hot is a big no-no for me because of the tobacco note. Smells pretty bad on my skin. So yeah, that's my number one least favorite release of 2023. And that concludes my list of my least favorite fragrance releases for 2023. If you guys have tried these scents, I would love to hear what you think of them down in the comments. And also, what are your least favorite releases of the year? I would love to hear about that down in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.